Alright, hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Laura and here I talk about mental health, minimalism, lifestyle, and currently my little family's journey of having a baby and moving to Germany. So you could say there's a lot on right now, which is, it means it's kind of surprising as to how many videos I have out right now, which is not a lot because I think I'm just struggling to kind of find a theme in all of this. So today we're going to do a 22-week kind of bump update and then just generally talk about where I'm at with my mental health and kind of trying to be minimal and frugal throughout all of this. So it's a bit of a eclectic update, but I hope you enjoyed anyway. All right, so I am currently about 22 weeks with my first baby, which is very exciting. So you would see in the thumbnail, hopefully, how bump is looking. So I am now getting a little bit of a bump and it's getting to the point where I can't wear the stuff that I normally would, which is interesting. From a minimalist point of view, because I'm only going to be working corporate for another like 6-ish weeks, I'm not I'm not going to be purchasing a whole lot. I have a couple of things that are able to fit a bit more flexibly that I will be using over the next few weeks, but I'm really trying to just not purchase anything that I don't need, because once we have moved, once we're in Germany, I'm not going to be working, and so for those last few months of pregnancy, I don't need to look corporate and nice. Like I can kind of wear the same skirt every day or whatever it is that I end up doing. So trying to embrace that. In terms of like, again, this is all over the place. It's just my brain right now. See another video for where I was diagnosed with ADHD. Mental health wise, I've been feeling mostly good. I think a few people in my life were maybe a little bit like, oh, you know, Laura gets a bit anxious sometimes, so we're a little bit worried. But I think quite honestly, like having learned how to cope with anxiety prior to getting pregnant, it means that I'm kind of set up for success now being pregnant. The main thing that I have been feeling anxious about the last few weeks that has really kind of got to me a bit is just trying to sell the house, which like, if you're trying to sell a house, that's stressful anyway. That's anxiety inducing anyway. That's gonna make you feel anxious. That's probably a normal thing. If you were just not caring at all, that might be a bit abnormal. So everything's kind of coming together in terms of like, I'm healthy, my husband's healthy, baby's healthy, dog's doing well, he's coping well with preparations to go in his travel crate for 2 long flights to get him to Frankfurt before we go to our final destination in Germany. So all of that's going well, but we still haven't got an offer on our house, and it's been on the market for like 10 weeks now. So that's been kind of stress inducing, but we're about to do a big price drop and kind of go full guns blazing, balls to the wall, make it happen. So hoping that that ends up like sorting itself out. That is kind of the main, that's kind of the main stressor. And so I've been feeling a little bit full of anxiety, but I think it's literally because of that. So that's really good overall. We are, as you can maybe tell, well, you should be able to tell from what I'm wearing, we are starting to get warmer weather here, which is really, really nice. I have had a few people say like, oh, aren't you going to struggle because you're going from winter to winter? And I'm like, well, we're not really going from winter to winter. We're going from late spring to late autumn. And spring in New Zealand is known for being very wet and rainy, and we have had a bit of that, but we've also had a few really nice days, and so I'm just embracing that as much as I can before we then go into European late autumn and then European winter, because I know that that can be draining. To be fair though, I am looking forward to it. Like when we first found out we were pregnant and I knew that I was going to be due in February, I did not want to stay in Auckland for that. I did not want to be in New Zealand because it gets so hot and humid. And I mean, they say that like pregnant women feel warmer anyway. We get really, really warm. And that has definitely been the case. It was nice through winter, helped keep me warm. It was much easier than normally in winter. I'm like really feeling the cold, not so much this year. But I am looking forward to being in European winter when I'm like heavily pregnant and then having the baby, because yeah, summer, oh my gosh, I was thinking about it today. I was like, if I had to be pregnant in February in Auckland, I'd probably just be wearing like mini shorts and a bikini top for like the whole last month of pregnancy, which is not, well, I was going to say it's not the most appropriate. It's New Zealand. In summer, you can go basically anywhere in just like a swimsuit, so it's fine anyway. We are, because we are still waiting to sell the house, we are unfortunately having to kind of keep it in this state of limbo right now, which I'm finding very frustrating because I had kind of imagined that by this point, you know, like 10 weeks in, we would have got the house sold. Even if we're not like out of here, we know that it's going to be settling. We don't need to keep having more people through all of that. And so that's why, even though I'm like, yeah, we're leaving in like 6 weeks, we still have like all our cute picture frames up and our cute plants and our cute pillows and all of this. This was literally how it was for an open home that we had like a few hours ago, right? So it's all looking all perfect. Having to keep it like this is very frustrating. I think anyone who's done a big move knows this. You get to this point where you just want to like pull everything out to just be like, cool, this is coming, this is going, just get it all out. I don't know, I'm also a very visual person when it comes to that kind of stuff, like packing anything. I just want to see it all in front of me so that I can go, this I want to take, this I want to get rid of, and, you know, get other people there, like my husband, and be like, what do you think? Should we take this? Should we get rid of this? Ugh. Like, I just want to have it all in front of me so I can deal with it and I can know that, like, it's accounted for. Whereas right now, it's like you can pull out a little bit of stuff and then it has to go back away perfectly because every weekend on Saturday and Sunday we have open homes. So that has been draining. I think that we're finally in the rhythm of it, so it's not quite as bad. And also we've just made a concession on a few things, like a few bits of furniture we've gotten rid of. We're not going to do any more tidy ups and renovations, so we've been able to get a lot of renovation stuff like out of the house, out of the shed to my sister and brother-in-law, because they're gonna have that after we're done with it. And also we have our suitcases in the house now, so they're just in the corner of a room when people come to see the house. And that makes sense because even though it's not like the most aesthetic, it's like, yeah, they're selling because they're leaving, so suitcases. And it just all makes sense. Yeah, so overall doing well, but very busy. We are very, very busy right now, and it kind of feels like a bit of a sprint to the finish line. I feel like I'm going to get to Germany and not want to do anything because I'll just be recovering, but there will be so much to do, you know, like registering with the overseas office, getting bank accounts set up, all of that kind of stuff, getting set up with a doctor there, because then a few months later we'll have a kid and then we'll need to be able to take them to the doctor and whatever. I do already have a midwife, as I've mentioned a few times before this. So the stuff we already know we have set up is the major stuff, right? So like our health insurance is accounted for because that's super important. Have a midwife ready to go. We have an Airbnb for the first month that we're there, and then we'll be trying to get an apartment. So I will be having to do that for sure. My husband already has a few auditions that he's looking at for orchestras over there, which is fantastic. So as much as I will want to get there and just go, oh, I am a doer. And I think that when you're in a new environment like that, you kind of just want to get stuck into everything. So yeah, it is going to be a bit of a sprint to the finish line. But once we're there, yeah, it's going to be great. I'm really not sure how to film all of this and like what kind of theme I want to go with all of this. If I'm going to kind of pivot a bit to be a bit more about like expat or like Kiwi living overseas or Kiwi living in Germany, or more like related to being a new mum or any of that. I'm really not quite sure. I think that a lot of my base stuff around like being minimal and frugal and taking care of my mental health is all kind of there, but there's just so much else going on right now that I can't like verbally talk about it, because all I can talk about is I've got to list this thing on Trade Me, I've got to get this thing sold, I've got to get this account closed, I've got to, yeah, it's just all kind of messed and mixed up with everything else that's going on right now, but that's okay. So that is kind of how we're doing. At 22 weeks, it is progressing well. The main thing is that I'm healthy, my husband's healthy, baby's healthy, the dog is healthy, and everything is progressing as it should be. If you do have any like specific questions, please do let me know down below, because I'm not really sure what are the interesting parts about this. I am just in the thick of it right now, so I can't really think about it too much, so apologies for that. So anyway, you guys take care, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.